Hey guys, Gary Davilo, 7i Operations Group, reviewing a project management tool named Liquid Planner. This review is not a feature-by-feature review of the tool or a comparison. It is a review of the tool and how it can make your business more efficient. We're going to look at the features of the tool, how it adds to your organization, the types of organizations that would benefit, what we do like and what we don't. Stay tuned. Hey guys, let's jump right in. This is Liquid Planner. It's a software as a service, so it's a web-based application. They do have mobile apps as well. They work pretty slick. So this is the main screen I want to talk about, this, timesheets, and projects. So this technology is a project management tool. That's how it's advertised. And that tool means a lot of things to a lot of people these days. Some tools are basically glorified checklists. Some tools are checklists and schedules. Some tools are checklists and resource planning. This tool is unique, I think, because it combines resource management, task management, time management, has timesheets built in, and scheduling all in one tool. That's pretty powerful. The types of firms that would most benefit from this type of tool are firms that have a finite number of resources. In other words, X many people available to work on projects. And maybe we should define what a project is. Any activity, endeavor with a defined scope, schedule, and budget. Not stuff you do every day in your job. That's not a project. But things that have a start and completion day, a defined scope, and a fixed budget are typically projects. So if you have a finite number of resources who have to work on multiple projects and those resources bill hourly, this is the tool for you. It's pretty tremendous. So here's your tasks in order of priority. Notice the orange box. Another feature I'm going to point out, by the way, most tools that have scheduling built in or resource management say task 2 require you to enter a finite number. We estimate this task, or I estimate this task will take 5 hours. This is one of the few tools that allows you to enter a range between 4 and 6 hours, which is a more realistic way of scheduling, which contributes to one of the differentiators for this tool, what they call their predictive scheduling engine. And what that is, in a nutshell, is if you picture an algebraic equation, all these scheduling tools work on multiple variables. You have to know the activity duration, either a start and finish date. You have to know the amount of time, if you're doing resource management, it's going to take to perform those tasks in those number of days. You have to know the resource name, right? And you have to track. You have to enter percent complete or progress in hours as the work is completed in order for the schedule to have any value. The prioritization in most Gantt charts or CPM type schedules is managed through relationships between tasks. In other words, predecessor, successor. So you have to do task A before task B. This tool has what they've titled or coined their predictive scheduling engine. It has similar variables. You have to know the task. You have to know the approximate range. You have to know the resource. But as tasks are reprioritized, which happens all the time, and I'll show you projects view, as tasks reprioritized, let's say you have a person named Sally on your team. As Sally is reprioritized with a new task or a task is giving a different priority, the tool will automatically calculate the impact of all the projects Sally is working on. No one has to go in and manually change the relationship between tasks, change new predecessors, rearrange schedules, because let's face it, unless you're wired like a project manager and you have the discipline to make those changes, they're not going to happen. This tool fixes it for you, and let me show you. We'll skip the timesheet view. It's pretty straightforward. You can see what tasks you work on every day, so you can monitor how the team is doing against your target plan, and you can monitor which tasks are being worked on which times, and provide you billing data for clients you submit to billing. So here's projects. The projects view has two views. This is the default view here, the task view or the timeline view. If you're familiar with Microsoft Project or any kind of Gantt chart, this view would be very familiar. Kind of a hierarchy of projects to sub-projects to tasks to subtask. And you list your here. So in a typical scheduling engine or a typical scheduling tool, you would have to basically go in on the start and finish dates and modify those, or enter a percentage complete, or enter the number of man hours expended. And if the prioritization changed, let's say you got a staff meeting on Tuesday, and you decide that, hey, a client is called and test task 2 is no longer the highest priority, but 1 is. So you'd grab this task and reprioritize it. And if Sally were on that task, you'd see the impact to every project Sally's working on. That's pretty powerful. So let's talk about, again, which firms would benefit from this tool. Firms that have teams with a finite number. In other words, it's not a one-to-one ratio between individual and project. Sally is not just working on one project. Sally is working on many projects. That type of team structure that bill hourly is also very important. If they bill hourly, the timesheets function, although not the most important function of the tool, would be very, very helpful. I think it's helpful because you don't have to manually go back and remember to enter how much time you spent for each activity. You just hit start and it tracks it for you. Whether you bill it or not, it's a lot more intuitive way to interact with the tool. Secondly, if your team is not really comprised of project managers, they're more creative types or more non-finite detail type folks, big picture type folks. Those folks tend to gravitate toward the card view or Kanban type view. And here, again, like the task view, you can reprioritize. You can move tasks prioritization up and down. You can change their status or update them by just dragging horizontally. Pretty slick, very intuitive view. You can filter by your project, by your name, by certain other team members. Pretty slick. So here's what we like about the tool. It's a great fit, for organizations who work on multiple projects, who have to have resource management. If you have finite resources and work on multiple projects, you have to manage your resources. This tool is tremendous for it. If you bill hourly, it's just icing on the cake. The thing I don't like about the tool is the licensing structure. So here we have the 3 buckets. It's kind of deceptive. It shows $9.99 per user per month. You say, oh, great. I have a really small firm with 3 people. I love this tool. It looks pretty neat. I want to use it. Well, guess what? The feature set is pretty anemic at $10 a month compared to competitors. And you have to buy 5 users minimum. And you have to pay for a whole year in advance. Annual contracts only. That, to me, is a limiting factor. If this tool, let me rephrase that, this tool would reach a much greater audience. It would be much more useful to any company who has projects if this licensing structure were different. Now, if you have 10 or more users, the feature set of the next bucket is tremendous. This is where the value comes in. Now, notice the jump. It's over 4 times more expensive per user. And you have to have 10 user minimums. Now, once you reach 10, you can add individual licenses. But you have to have a minimum of 10. Annual contract. So if your organization has lots of clients and 10 or more team members, this is a tremendous value, because the part that's not obvious, unless you scroll down, is this client view. Notice the bottom one doesn't have a client view. So if your clients need to interact with the dashboards, reports, or the tool at all to update things, because you have stakeholders external to the organization, they have to pay for a seat as well, or you have to pay a seat for them. In this tool, there's 100 client accesses. So if they're interacting with the data only, and you have 10 or more people in your organization who are producing the data, this is a tremendous tool. Again, summary, we love the tool. We think it's intuitive, it's clean, it works, it's feature rich, but only at the professional level. Check it out. Go ahead and sign up, get a free trial, sign up for a demonstration. You'll be impressed And if you have 10 or more people, this might be the tool for you. Hope you enjoyed.